What if I told you your body is actually programmed to melt away dangerous visceral fat, but you're unknowingly slamming that lock button every single morning? Forget calories. Forget the treadmill. The real culprit isn't in your fridge, it's a chemical ghost haunting your bloodstream. Most people think they're fighting belly fat. They're wrong. You're fighting a biological bodyguard that has wrapped itself around your liver, your heart, and your pancreas like a suffocating blanket. This isn't just about how you look, it's about a silent internal hijack linked to insulin resistance. Your cells are literally deaf to your metabolism. Your body thinks it's under a constant, invisible attack. Why you're exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep? Your body isn't a calculator, it's a survival machine. It doesn't care about your summer body, it only cares about staying alive. And right now, it thinks you're in danger. The commander of this defense mode is a single hormone, cortisol. But here is the twist that nobody tells you: cortisol isn't the villain. Without it, you wouldn't wake up in the morning. The scary part? Even your healthy habits, that 5 a.m. fasted session or that extra cup of black coffee, might be the very thing signaling your body to store fat for protection. How do you flip the switch from protect to burner without triggering a biological red alert? Most people are stuck in a metabolic trap, using a map that's upside down. Before we dive into the fix that changes everything, subscribe to Health by Science. Because once you understand the two faces of cortisol, you don't just lose weight, you take back control of your biology. Stay tuned, because the healthiest mistake you're making right now is the only thing standing between you and a clean bill of health. When cortisol stays elevated for too long, your body shifts into protection mode. And in this state, fat burning slows down, visceral fat storage increases, insulin sensitivity drops. So even if you're dieting, your body is literally resisting fat loss. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Cortisol isn't always bad for fat loss. In fact, short, controlled spikes can actually help you burn fat. So why are most people still stuck? The two types of cortisol. There are two types of cortisol responses. 1. Chronic cortisol, bad. This is the dangerous one. It comes from lack of sleep, emotional stress, overtraining, constant calorie restriction. This leads to fat storage, hormonal damage, slower metabolism. 2. Acute cortisol, good. This is short-term and controlled. It happens during short workouts, fasting windows, cold exposure, mental focus. This actually mobilizes fat, increases energy, improves metabolic flexibility. So the goal is not eliminate cortisol. The real goal is control when and how it shows up. How to force fat burning without cortisol damage. Now we get to the part you've been waiting for. How to actually make your body melt visceral fat. Not by fighting it, but by working with it. Step 1. Control your eating window. When you constantly eat, your insulin stays high. And when insulin is high, fat burning is off. But when you introduce a controlled eating window, your body shifts into fat burning mode. However, if you push fasting too aggressively, you spike cortisol. Step 2. Stop eating late. Late night eating does something dangerous. It disrupts your circadian rhythm. This leads to higher nighttime cortisol, poor sleep, increased fat storage. Your body is designed to burn fat at night. But only if you're not digesting food, your cortisol is low, your sleep is deep. So if you're eating late, you're literally blocking fat loss while you sleep. Step 3. Low stress movement. Most people think, the harder I train, the faster I burn fat. But intense daily workouts can backfire. Too much intensity equals chronic cortisol, which leads to fat retention, fatigue. Better approach. Daily walking. It burns fat directly, keeps cortisol low, improves recovery. But movement isn't the biggest factor. Sleep is. Step 4. Fix your sleep. Sleep is when cortisol resets. If you sleep poorly, cortisol stays elevated the next day. One bad night of sleep can increase hunger hormone significantly. So before you fix your diet, fix your sleep. Step 5. Prioritize protein. Protein helps preserve muscle, stabilize blood sugar, reduce stress response, which indirectly keeps cortisol balanced. Even with good diet, exercise, fasting, fat loss slows down. This is why two people can do the same plan and get completely different results. Here's the truth. Fat loss is not just physical. It's hormonal and neurological. And your body will only burn visceral fat when it feels safe. Be honest. What's harder for you right now? Delaying your first meal or stopping late night eating? Comment below, I'm curious. Now you understand how cortisol controls fat loss. But here's the next question. What happens when you push fasting beyond 24 hours? Does fat burning increase? Or does your body start breaking down something else? That's where things get controversial. Subscribe to Health by Science, because in the next video, we are breaking down exactly what happens inside your body at 24, 36, and 48 hours of fasting, hour by hour. And trust me, most people are getting it completely wrong.